Hello, and welcome back to the original Larry D's Food for Thought. Today we will be reading out of the Old King James Bible, and we're going to be going over a few scriptures today concerning the title, The Lord's Dietary Law. It still stands even until this very day. The Lord's Dietary Law. It still stands even until this very day. Okay? Now, I'm going to share these with you right quick. You can jot them down if you like, take a screenshot. But anyway, yeah, the Lord had this dietary law written. He had it written in Leviticus, the 11th chapter. Also, you can read it again in Deuteronomy, the 14th chapter. Okay, he had it written twice. And we already know that whatever the Lord had written, that we must do. Okay, now people have said, okay, no, they go into the new books and no, we ain't got to keep that. Lord changed that. No, he didn't. Lord had it written. He do not change. Okay. And people go over there and they say, "Oh, you can eat anything you want. All you got to do is pray over it." Well, we're gonna find out what the Lord said about those that talk about they can just eat anything and pray over it. Okay, that is not the case. Okay, I mean it's so easy, man. They got so many good foods out there now that you can eat. Oh, and you don't have to eat those things that are abominable things that, as the Lord called them, that He said don't eat. Okay. So, but we're gonna try and go over these scriptures, see if we can get a little understanding, and see if we can show you that the Lord did not change His dietary law. It still stands until this very day. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop sharing these, and we're gonna go ahead and get into these scriptures right quick here. And let's see. We are going to start this in Leviticus, Leviticus the 11th chapter. And we're going to read a few. We're not going to read them all, but we're going to skip a few. But we're going to show you some of the things Lord told us simply not to eat and that they are unclean. Okay, Leviticus, the 11th chapter, and we're going to start reading at verse 1. And it reads, "And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth." Now, the Lord was talking to told Moses to talk to the children of Israel. We know the Lord chose Israel to teach the rest of the sons and daughters of Adam. Okay. Of course, we dropped the ball, but however, we are back in the saddle and we are trying to get this thing out there. So the Lord is talking to the whole world. Everybody's supposed to keep these. Okay. Verse 2. I'm sorry, verse 3. "Whatsoever part of the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the chud, which is grass, among the beasts, these shall ye eat." Okay. Oh, nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, that eat the grass, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. Verse 7. "And the swine, though he divideth the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you." Now that's a biggie. I mean, everywhere you go today, you go to these little fast food restaurant, man, go in there trying to get you a burger. They want to slap a piece of uh, uh, pork bacon on there. You know, I've asked them one time, I say, "Hey, is that pork or is that turkey? Beef bacon?" "No, that's pork bacon." "Yep. All you see, pork, pork, pork." But the Lord said right here, it's unclean to you. We know swine is pork, right? Okay, verse 8. "Of that flesh shall ye not eat, and that carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you." Verse 9. "These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever has fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat." So it must have fins and scales. Okay. I've seen in these new Bibles they done got out there now, them NIV deals. It changed that word in there. Okay, one little word from fins and scales to fins or scales. That changes the whole dynamic of it. Okay. As now people read that, something like that, and they would say, hey, okay, it's got to have fins or scales. Well, it ain't got no scales, but it's got fins, so I can eat it. Okay. Mm-mm. Don't work that way. So I say, get you this old King James Bible. All right. Okay, the Lord didn't change it. Man called themselves changing it. All right, they put that in there to accommodate what they want to do. Okay, because they like that stuff, so therefore they change it. Okay, well, I'm tell you something. The Lord got something waiting on you. You might want to change back and get it right. Verse 10. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. Okay, so now that is okay. Now let's read. I got a couple more verses here. Verse 11, they shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever has no fins, nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. Okay, now let's turn right over here right quick to, let's go over here to Deuteronomy right quick. Let me show you something here. Lord always have more than one witness. Okay. So now let's take a look at this. Let's go to Deuteronomy 14. We'll start reading at verse 3. I'm gonna show you. He wrote it again. Verse 3, and it reads, Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing. These are the beasts which ye shall eat: the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the hart, and the roebuck, and the fallow deer, and the wild goat, and the pygarg, and the wild ox, and the chamos, and every beast that parteth the hoof, and cheweth the cleft into two claws, and cheweth the chud among the beasts that ye shall eat. Nevertheless, these ye shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divideth the cloven hoof, as the camel, and the hare, and the cooning, for they chew the cud, but divideth not the hoof. Therefore they are unclean unto you. Okay, verse 8. And the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. These ye shall not eat of all that are in the waters. All that have fins and scales shall ye eat. And whatsoever has not fins and scales ye may not eat. It is unclean unto you. Okay? So, on your own, you go ahead and read that whole chapter of the 11th chapter of Leviticus. He lay it out there. He got it all laid out. Okay. Now let's turn over here right quick to take a quick look over here at something over here in Malachi. See what the Lord had brother Malachi to write. I'm gonna show you something here. Everybody say, hey, well, Lord changed this thing. Oh, he didn't. Excuse me. Malachi, the 3rd chapter and verse 6, and it reads, For I am the Lord, I change not. Told you, Lord, don't change. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Okay? So now, Lord didn't change it. He don't change. He do not change. Now, let's go over here while we're still in the old book. Let's go over here to Isaiah right quick, and I'm going to show you something. Lord don't change. He had this dietary law written, and he mean for us to keep it. And I'm going to show you something. We finna look at some things now. And the Bible, it gives you the past, the present, and the future. Okay? We finna read something in the future here. This is when the Lord come back the second time. Okay? Now, you check this out. Isaiah 66, and we're going to start reading at verse 15. And it reads, For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. Verse 16, For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. All flesh. And he ain't talking about patting you on the, on the shoulder neither. Because he talking about killing, okay? And the slain of the Lord shall be many. Verse 17. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst. What tree? That Satan the devil. Eating swine's flesh. And the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. So the Lord come back. He see you still been eating that pork, catfish, and all that abominable stuff that he told you not to eat. Hey, you're gonna be consumed together. Okay, gonna take you out. Now, let's turn right back here right quick. Let's go over here to while we're in Isaiah. I'm gonna go to Isaiah 65. Start reading at verse 2. And it reads, and it's the Lord talking here by the mouth of Isaiah. Okay. Verse 2, and it reads, I have spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people, which walketh in a way that was not good after their own thoughts. I don't think the Lord gonna do nothing to me because I eat a little pork chop or a little catfish. You saw what he said he gonna do when he come back, then still eating that stuff. Got something for you. Okay, verse 3. A people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face, that sacrifice in gardens and burn incense upon altars of bricks, which remain among the graves and lodge in the monuments, remain in the congregation of the dead. It's like the valley of dry bones, no knowledge. Okay, but you're getting some knowledge today. All right, which eat swine's flesh, and a broth of abominable things is in thy vessel, shrimp gumbo. Shrimp don't have no fins and scale. They got fins, they got a shell. Okay. All right. Lobster and all that stuff, man. Lord said, don't eat that stuff, man. It's unclean. Verse 5, which say, stand by thyself, come not near to me, for I am holier than thou. Oh, yeah. Don't tell me I can't eat that stuff, man. I'm holier than you. Okay. These are smoke in my nose, man. Ooh, Lord says it's a smoke in his nose, man. You know how bad that smell, man. Somebody blowing smoke on your face. A fire that burneth all the day. Behold, it is written before me, I will not keep silent, but will recompense. Okay. Even recompense into their bosom your iniquities and the iniquities of your fathers together, saith the Lord, which have burned incense upon the mountains and blasphemed me up upon the hills. Therefore will I measure thy former work into their bosom. Lord ain't playing, people. Tell you, you get knowledge of this, take heed. When you learn better, you do better, right? Okay. Now, granted, if you didn't know, Lord ain't gonna hold your foot to the fire. But however, once you find out about it, he will hold your feet. Okay. Now, let's move on. Let's go over here to let's go to Proverbs right quick. Let me show you something right here. I'm losing one of my markers here. Put that back because I had to come back over here a minute. But I'm gonna show you this right here. Proverbs 28. Proverbs 28. We're gonna read one verse over here. And I'm gonna tell you something. When I say, people say, hey, LD, man, I don't care what you say. Look, all we got to do, Lord, all you got to do is pray over it. You can eat it. Okay. Let me show you something here. The Lord say about them people praying over that pork chop that you about to eat. Okay. This is Proverbs 28th chapter verse 9, and it reads, he that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, what law? This dietary law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. Lord ain't hearing that prayer. Okay. Even your prayer be an abomination unto him. So keep that in mind. Let's turn over here right quick. Let's go over here to Acts right quick. We're going to Acts the 10th chapter. I'm going to show you something. A lot of people go here and they say, well, look right here, the Lord said you can eat anything. Okay, let's see. Okay, this right here is talking about an Italian guy. His name was Cornelius. He paid much alms to the people and he prayed to the Lord, and the Lord heard his prayers. So he sent him to Peter. And let's see what happened with this here. All right. Let's see. Acts the 10th chapter. We'll start reading at verse 1. And it reads, I'm going to read through this some kind of fast, okay? there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band. He was Italian, okay? A devout man and one that feared God with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to God always. He saw in a vision, evidently about the ninth hour of the day, and an angel of God coming in to him and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before the Lord. And now send men to Joppa and call for one Simon, whose surname is Peter. He lodged with one Simon, a tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do. And when the angel which spake unto Cornelius was departed, he called two of his household servants as a devout soldier of them that waited on him continually. Okay, they waited on him as every beck and call. Okay, 8. And when he had declared all these things unto him, he sent them to Joppa. On the morrow, as they went on that journey and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up on the housetop to pray about the 6th hour, and became very hungry, and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance, and saw heaven open, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners, and let down to the earth, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, saying, Him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, Listen what he said now, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. Okay? Verse 15. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, What God has cleansed, that call not thou common. People like to use that right there. Okay. This was done twice and thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven. Verse 17. Now, while Peter doubted in himself, he doubted on this thing, what this vision which he had seen should mean. Behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house and stood before the gate and called and asked whether Peter, which was surnamed Peter, was lodged there. While Peter thought on this vision, he's still thinking on that thing. The Spirit said unto him, Behold, 3 men seeketh thee. Arise therefore and get thee down and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them. Okay? Now, I'm going to skip a little bit. I'm going to end at verse 24. And it reads, And tomorrow, after they entered into Caesarea, and Cornelius waited for them and had called together his kinsmen and near friends, and as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshiped him. But Peter took him up, saying, Stand up, I myself also am a man. And as he talked with him, he went in and found many that were come together. And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto another, one of another nation. Okay? But they consider all other nations unclean as far as uh other than Israel. Okay. But God has showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. Okay. Didn't have nothing to do with meats when he saw those all manner of beasts come down on that sheet. It had nothing to do with meat. He was talking about men. Don't call no man common or unclean. Okay. So just wanted to clear that up. All right, let's move on a little bit further. Let's run over here to First Timothy right quick. There's somewhere else a lot of people like to go and say, hey, okay, now all you gotta do is pray over it. We can eat it. Let's see. All right. We over here at First Timothy, 4th chapter, and we'll start reading at verse 1. And it reads, Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter time some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. And be seared with a hot iron like you brand a cow. Okay. Forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meat. What are you talking about here? You go read about it. Go read the history. You can see. The Roman Catholic Church. They told those cats they can't marry them priests and they can't marry. They can't eat meat, you know. I'm talking about somebody else trying to say, hey, you can't eat this, you can't eat that. Not talking about that. It's talking about that Roman Catholic Church, which God has created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. We know the truth. If you've read that dietary law, you know God's word is true. You know the truth. Okay. Verse 4. For every creature of God is good, and it is for what he created it for. Okay. And nothing to be refused if it be received with thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, for it is sanctified by the word of God and prayer. Okay. Yeah. Now, people, this little word that everybody overlook, sanctified. What does sanctification mean? Set apart from. What did the Lord do? He set apart the clean from the unclean. Okay? Plain and simple. Now, let me show you this. Let's go over here right quick. Let's go back to Deuteronomy right quick. Show you this right quick. Going to Deuteronomy, see where are we at? I'm sorry, not Deuteronomy, going to Leviticus. Leviticus, the 20th chapter. Yeah, Leviticus 20. Something like that. Leviticus 20, gonna read one verse right here, verse 25, and it reads, Ye shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean, and between clean fowls and clean. Okay? You got to sanctify this stuff. Lord sanctified. He set it apart. And ye shall not make your souls abominable by beast, or by fowl, or by any manner of living thing that creepeth on the earth, which I have separated from you as unclean. Okay? So don't try and change the Lord dietary law. Say that you can eat anything. All you got to do is pray over. Don't do that. Okay? Because the Lord will get you. Okay? Man, just take heed to it, man. Me and my wife, man, shoot, we searched this thing out. Man, I'm tell you something. That beef bacon, it stomps that pork bacon any day. Tell you, man, pretty good eating. All right. Now, let's see. Let's go to one last place right quick. Let's run over here to Ecclesiastes 12th chapter. We'll start reading at verse 13. Listen to this. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. He commanded you, but you shall eat and shall not eat. For this is the whole duty of man. Verse 14, for God shall bring every work into judgment. Okay? With every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Okay? You don't keep his dietary law, you go and eat whatever you want to eat. Think you can just pray over. You know, showed you, Lord say your prayers will be an abomination unto him. He ain't hearing that. Okay? So you eat that stuff, man, you're doing evil. And it's a sin. And when sin is finished, what does it do? Bring it forth death. And he ain't talking about that first death, because we know Adam put that first death on us. He's talking about that second death, which is the lake of fire. Okay? So, with that food for thought, think on these scriptures and words throughout the course of the day. And until next time, peace.